Monsters versus Aliens. Yeah, one of the best DreamWorks movie. I know people that have their own opinions, but it's pretty good to me.
Yeah, it's like one of the greatest childhood movies ever. I got just a lot of actors in there, and is this based on a Disney movie?
Based on it?
No, I mean, like, it's supposed to be like an original concept about like monsters coming together to just save the world, I guess. Is that what it was?
Yes. And this is
for sure one based on a Disney movie, but
this thing called Reading.
A story about a young woman getting turned into a giant. Very scary for her, especially when she gets captured by Area 51.
Yes, this lady he's talking about is Susan Murphy. Yes, she's getting prepared because her friend surprised her because, in a few days, she's getting married. But yeah, where he explains the giant part, like everything just went chaos and everything, and her fiance Derek didn't like the idea anymore, so like they cut it off, and then she goes to Area 51 where she meets like a few more monsters like Bob, the Missing Link, and Dr. Cockroach.
I thought it was Professor Cockroach.
Doctor.
Okay.
But yeah, and they're just trying to welcome her to her new environment and everything about her just being used to her powers and everything. But yeah, now we get introduced to General Monger, who puts them as a team because now they have to defeat this big robot. And yeah, that's where we meet the main villain. What was his name?
Galaxar.
Galaxar. Yeah. I gotta say, interesting villain. I gotta say, this movie was pretty interesting, especially the ending with, Susan and Derek. That was pretty cool. I gotta say, my favorite parts during the movie was, their introductions to, the monsters. No, what do people scream out when they see you?
Susan.
Huh? Really? Susan. Oh, that scared me. No way! He's totally a dude. He got boobies.
We need to talk.
But yeah, what were your favorite parts during the movie?
That's a toughie. I guess that breakdancing that Dr. Cockroach did.
That's pretty cool. Remember that scene where Bob was talking to Jello?
Yeah.
And the whole time. Oh, that's even funny when Bob thinks he's dating Derek, and at the end he was like, oh, that two-timey jerk, thinking that he was both dating Bob and Susan. I mean, yeah, that's about my part. You Fresh, any favorite parts?
Yeah, just the scene where the general was explaining how they need the monsters in order to save the world, and any scene involving the president.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and every time he shows the picture of the monster, and that woman starts screaming and drops everything.
Well, somebody get her out.
And then the president screams like a girl.
Mm-hmm. But remember that, one of the scenes, you see, one of the CIA agents, coming through, and he has to scan his whole body and everything, tongue, everything, even his ass.
Blood.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Could you imagine, well, of course the blood was the last one, but can you imagine that the last one was actually the crotch?
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of a Family Guy episode where they were trying to rob Carter, and Quagmire did the same thing with his crotch.
Oh, man. But my absolute favorite is where the president was up on the keyboard doing Axel F.
Ah, yes, I remember that one.
It's one of the ones how I got introduced to Axel F. The other was Space Chimps.
Cool.
Nice.
And yeah, that's about it for this movie. Alright, now with the cast, yes. Bringing forth with Susan, aka Ginormica, we have Reese Witherspoon. Yeah, she's a pretty interesting actor. This was my introduction overall. Yes, other media I got introduced to was Sing, American Psycho, and yeah, she's really cool.
And this is how I got introduced to through animation, through live action. It was Four Christmases.
I thought you were going to say Legally Blonde.
Well, I didn't watch Legally Blonde as a kid yet, so But it was like when I was growing up, that's where I finally got to see it. It was really good. That and the sequel.
Mm. All right, and you first for animation and live action?
Okay, well, like again, when it comes to like certain different types of, I think this would have to be my introduction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I gotta say, Susan's character throughout the movie, just getting used to like her new powers and everything, of course not being steady with it first, but getting used to it, especially the huge fights and her confronting Derek. That was one of my favorite parts for her.
Wait.
Yeah, she deserves.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Like I just came up with realization, but go on ahead.
Realization.
Oh, okay. Well, like her getting back at Derek, it kind of like reminds me of the classic story of that female monster movie, Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. It all makes sense now.
Yeah.
God effing dang it! I didn't pull that together. Son of a flat.
Calm down.
Hang on a minute.
But yeah, for Susan, aka Dranorbica, and for Reese, I both give them like infinity. They did really great.
Did he? Just gonna.
Okay, Christian, did you explain your part for Susan, your score?
Oh, no. Okay, so yeah, for Susan, it was probably really weird for her to be gigantic and stuff, all because during her wedding, when she was outside, a meteor struck on her. I'm surprised she wasn't killed from that, because of how big that is and how fast it was going. I don't know how she would survive that.
Mm-hmm.
But for her, Reese Witherspoon's performance was a brilliant 10 out of 10.
Cool. Next up, we got Bob, voiced by Seth Rogen. Yes. Bob is legit a blob. Yes. A blue blob. And yeah, not very, clear in the mind, but he's funny at times, especially in this movie.
And he was created in a, what do you call it?
Yes,
it's a factory.
Well, yes, he's supposed to be like the parody of an actual creature named the Blob that can eat anything in sight. So.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think it's supposed to be called the Thing. Well,
that's a different. No, that's a shapeshifter.
Oh, okay, my bad. But yeah, it was like food topping thing, and they're exchanging something a tomato, and that's how Bob was born. It stands for something, but we can't pronounce that. It's actually B-O-B, so just call him Bob for short. And like Britt said, he is not the brightest bulb. Like, he forgot to breathe, and...
Help me, Dr. Cockroach. Breathe and Bob. Oh, thank you. But I gotta say, Bob was like the best part of this movie. You gotta admit, he was one of the best parts.
Yeah, he's the main reason how I got introduced to Seth Rogen.
Well, for me, it was, Kung Fu Panda.
Well, that too.
Yeah. Yeah, for Bob and Seth Rogen, always excellent work from, Seth. I give them both infinity.
Danny.
Ditto.
Alright, next up, we got the missing link, voiced by Will Arnett.
Yeah. He is pretty dope, I must say. Of course, he is not as strong as he... I mean, he is kind of strong, but not really. He threw out his back while trying to do karate.
Yeah, that was funny. But what was kind of sad for him and Bob having that moment about him learning about the Invisible Man dying. Yikes.
Oh, yeah. And the fact that he was still there, even though he's clearly invisible.
Yeah. But I say Will Arnett's performance as the missing link, yeah, he did awesome, especially his performance during the fight and everything, helping out. I do like that. And for my introduction for Will Arnett, it was Despicable Me.
Despicable Me, this, Ratatouille.
Despicable Me.
Yeah. For Will Arnett's performance, I give him affinity.
Agreed.
Same.
Fresh, you want to talk about Dr. Cockroach?
Okay, he's said to be this brilliant scientist that's attempted to imbue himself with the resilience and abilities of a cockroach, but the side effect had him before turn into a half man, half cockroach hybrid, but still able to keep his intellect intact. Thank God, because we all know how anything can go all wrong and they can't really control themselves. But Dr. Cockroach would have to be the luckier ones, and it is kind of amazing to have the abilities of a cockroach.
Yeah, especially the scene where Susan was beating the living crap out of it with a spoon.
Why you stop that? Yeah. His actor, Hugh Laurie. I first got introduced to him in Hop, where he plays EB's dad.
But I didn't know that he played as him. It was this movie I got introduced to him before I saw Hop.
Well, in other media, people got introduced to him in Stuart Little.
It was the second one for me.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And let's see here. Another one that I got introduced to him was it. Oh no, that was about it then. But yeah, really, cool with the intelligence. I did like the voice. I give him Infinity as well.
10.
9 out of 10.
Alright, next for the main villain, Galaxar, voiced by Rainn Wilson. This was my true introduction to him. Other media had to be The Office, and we call Smurfs Lost Village, and Adventure Time. Actually, no, Adventure Time was the first time I got introduced to him.
This, and for live action, The Office, and My Super Ex-Girlfriend.
Oh, how was that?
Oh, it was really good. He is friends with Luke Wilson's character. And this movie is about where this guy, Luke Wilson meets this superhero named G-Girl, and they start dating, but of course, of how obsessive she is, he breaks up with her, and she goes all crazy and stuff, so it's pretty funny. It also has Anna Faris in it. Oh, and Whoopi Goldberg. No, Wanda Sykes. Yes, Wanda Sykes.
Cool. You first.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Oh, I said you first, your introduction?
Yeah, because we were all just talking at the same time, but it was the Office.
Yeah, where he's known for playing Dwight Schrute. But yeah, I gotta say, his character as the villain, Galaxar, yeah, he did really good, especially learning about more of his plan. What was your opinion when he had, his own army of himself, as clones, basically?
I was like, yeah, okay, that's cool and everything, but I'll be honest.
It's basically what they did in Rick and Morty.
Well, yes, and the fact that when they were trying to blend in, Bob was the only smart one in that moment. I was like, that's the only moment where Bob could be really smart.
I know, that was just odd that he was able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's I may not have a brain, gentlemen, but I have an idea.
Yeah. For his performance, I give him a 10 out of 10.
Same.
7. He's not really one of my favorite DreamWorks villains, but he's okay.
That's alright then. Alright, next up, Kiefer Sutherland, who played the General. Yeah, his performance was really great, especially the voice he provided. And yes, I do like the every time where the girl was screaming, I just like those moments with the General.
And yes, I agree. And it's just, and right here, just knowing right now is that it says in during the credits he claims to be 90 freaking years old.
Wow. But yeah.
And he still got it.
Yeah. And of course, people may know him from Metal Gear Solid, where he plays Big Boss, and Call of Duty, of course. He was in the live-action Marmaduke movie. I know people got introduced to him maybe in The Wild.
Yeah, that was me. No.
Forgot he was in The Wild.
Yes, he just said that.
And for live-action performances, Stand By Me, yeah. And he was also the Nutcracker Prince and many others. But yeah, this was my introduction to him.
Me too.
For his performance, I give him a 10 out of 10. Perfect.
Me too.
Infinity.
And for Stephen Colbert, yeah, playing the president. The president was very random during this movie. Did you have the same feeling?
I don't think it says here.
I guess, but he's still pretty funny, especially since they're two giant big buns, one to launch the missiles and one for coffee.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that scene well, it's kind of like that in Spaceballs, where there's Mr. Coffee, and right next to it is Mr. Radar.
Yep.
But man, at the end credits, he actually pressed the button for the nuclear missiles.
Mm-hmm.
And remember he tried to shoot the giant cycloptic monster with his gun?
Yes. Yeah, but what I was about to say, other than playing the president, of course, people know that Steven has his own like late night show. Like, yes, as other people do, but other people might get introduced to him in Mr. Peabody and Sherwood, where he plays Penny's dad.
Oh my!
Right.
Yeah, and he's also one of the voices of Harvey Birdman. Yeah.
Intriguing.
His performance as the president, I give it a 10 out of 10.
Same here. Well, actually, Infinity, because he is pretty funny.
Yeah, it's just the voice. It's just it kind of like it's like a comparison to like what was it, John F. Kennedy and Howard Cosell.
Huh. All right. Next up, Paul Rudd playing as Derek. You know, Susan's fiance until like the ending. Yeah. Yeah. Derek was not the brightest. I'm not saying smart, but he was just a jerk.
Yeah. I mean, people would say it was cute that that he would say "I love you" during his news broadcast, but after she went to his news station while he was doing a broadcast, and she like picked him up and stuff, and the fact that he broke up with her is just no.
Yeah, he totally got what he did. But yeah, this was my introduction to Paul Rudd overall. I know people also got introduced to him as Ant-Man.
Well, that was my Ant-Man direct. Well, this and Ant-Man, but I didn't know Paul Rudd voiced him until like years later.
I know people also got introduced to him in Sausage Party. Even him playing Mondo Gecko now for the new TMNT movie. Let's see, the 40-year-old virgin. Let's see, what else was there? Role models, of course. And you ever seen that, what do you call it? The potato chips commercial with him and Seth Rogen?
Yes, they haven't shown that in a while.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. But yeah, my overall introduction, and for him, yeah, for Derek, I'm gonna give him a 2, but for Paul Rudd, 10 out of 10. He nails these kind of roles.
Everything that you said.
Let's see here. Do you know much about the actor that played Susan's mother? Like, her name is Julie White. Like, yeah. Only know her from Monsters vs. Aliens, but I do know her father, who was voiced by Jeffrey Tambor.
And who would that be?
Oh, Tambor. My fault. Yeah, of course, you know, King Neptune.
Right.
Yeah, from the SpongeBob movie. Yeah. Pretty cool performance, you know. But surprising ones during this was Amy Poehler.
Oh yeah, that still shocks me to this day, because I would have never thought that she was that computer.
Yeah, and it's one of the few times you see Will Arnett and Amy Poehler being in a film together. You know, since when they were married. Other times was Blaze of Glory, and of course Ports and Here's a Coup. Yeah.
The Mighty Bee for me.
But yeah. Yes, the Mighty Bee was.
What?
I know. Oh yeah, right. I keep forgetting
she's the main character. Yeah, Bessie.
Yeah, and don't forget she also created that show.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, my introduction to Amy Poehler was the Mighty Bee and SpongeBob SquarePants.
Good one.
Right, the old lady. And my introduction to her live action was Blades of Glory, starring John Heater and Will Ferrell.
Good one. And other notable ones was Ed Elms. He was in this film. He played the news reporter.
Oh.
Yeah. Of course, everybody got introduced to him through The Office, Hangover, Captain Underpants, many other films like Lorax. Pretty shocking. Huh. And what I liked about the cast is half of them were, like, from The Office.
Well, yeah, basically. All we needed was Steve Carell. Okay.
So yeah, I like how like half of this was like like the Office cast, but and of course we have that couple, Katie and Cuthbert. Yeah, that was surprising, especially you getting like these celebrities to just voice these characters for like short lines. It was all right.
Yeah, and the fact that one of them was the same actress that was in Shark Tale and B Movie.
Yeah, Renee Zellweger.
And yeah, and John Krasinski voiced Cuthbert. Let's see. Other than that, I know it was a mix with the Giants. What was it? What was his name? What was that big monster that looked like a butterfly? What was it?
Insectosaurus. Like he turned into a butterfly at the end of the movie.
Yeah, so it was both a combination of Conrad Vernon and Frank Welker.
Whoa.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah, what's funny is because one time it said Jimmy Fallon. I was like, no, it can't be Jimmy Fallon. Come on, be serious.
Jimmy Fallon.
Come on, Jimmy. But yeah, that's about it for this cast. But yeah, really stacked cast. The movie did really great. But yeah, you want to go to the TV show now?
We'll just stopping from there.
But yeah, well, Monsters vs. Aliens, the TV show. Okay, this is one of the rare occasions where I first watched the show, then the movie.
That's nice.
Yeah, because I first saw it on Nickelodeon, of course, when it first came out in 2013. And then a year later, in 2014, that's when I first saw the film. But I think the film... Yeah. Monsters vs. Aliens TV show. What can I say about it? I know people have their own opinions, but it was really good. Despite it only having one season, there were like really good episodes in there, really like big shockers, and I especially love the theme song of it.
Oh yeah, Monsters vs. Aliens, and one of those episodes I remember is the only one I remember is where Dr. Cockroach created a sun.
Oh yeah, that was really like something though. Yeah, I did watch like some of the episodes. I won't say all of them, but I gotta say these episodes were pretty shocking, and some of them were like iffy, but I gotta say they were worth it though for like a show that only lasted one season. But other than that, now with this cast, yeah, when it comes to like replacing celebrities, I gotta say this is like one of the rare occasions where they actually did really good at.
Yeah, surprisingly well. Of course, as a kid, I didn't know that the general was by Kevin Michael Richardson.
Yeah, and he actually did really good, despite it being a little bit high pitch, but he still did good.
Yeah, it was pretty alright.
Yeah, let's see here. We got Ricky Landholm, who took over for Susan. I noticed her from she was in The Neighborhood. She was also in The Big Bang Theory. Let's see here. Of course, she played Poison Ivy in the Lego Batman movie. But how I first got introduced to her was Adventure Time, where she played this island lady, where Ice King was on her, because she's an island. But I gotta say, her performance as Ginormica, aka Susan, was really good. But I gotta say, who took over for Bob? Yeah, Eric Elstein. He did really good taking over for Seth Rogen. This was one of my introductions to Eric. The other was Chad from Clarence, and of course Grizz from Weaver Bears.
Main introduction here.
Yeah. But yeah, he did channel Seth Rogen's how would I say this, energetic personality for Bob, just being fun and all. I give him Infinity as well.
Okay.
And then for Dietrich Bader. Yeah.
He's Missing Link.
Yeah. I gotta say, another good performance for taking over for Will Arnett. He did really good.
No doubt.
But yeah, of course, my introduction was The Secret Saturdays and Ben 10 Alien Force.
Cool.
Let's see here. Yeah, for Dr. Cockroach, I know a little bit about his actor Chris O'Donnell. I know he was in this movie called, what was it, St. Vincent. That was a Bill Murray movie. He was also in this movie called Epic from 2013.
Ooh.
Yeah. You watched Epic or no?
Of course I have.
One time.
He played a snail called Grub.
Is he the skinny one or the fat one?
The skinny one.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I haven't seen Epic in a long time, but it's a really good movie. I recommend you watch it if you come across it sometime.
Mm-hmm. And then this is where we also get introduced to new aliens. One of them being Covertron, who's voiced by Jeff Bennett. Yeah, I like.
that was Jeff Bennett.
Yeah, I like to compare this villain to Moda because of the way he's sitting and everything.
Yeah. And he had a neat design of him being chubby and stuff, but I forgot that Jeff Bennett voiced him.
Yeah, and yes, the actor that took over for the president, yeah, James Patrick Stewart, the voice of Private from the Penguins of Madagascar, he did surprisingly good too. Yeah, and we also get to introduce to a new alien named Squeep, voiced by Haley Shue. Yeah, this is my first time getting introduced to it in animation. The first time was, the Thundermans.
Right.
The Loud House.
That my okay. It was Thundermans, bloopers for Volleyball Dogs, and also this.
Yeah. And there is also one alien named Aba. I think that's how you say it. It's been a while since I've seen it, but yeah. Of course, other than playing her, she was also in the Injustice movie from 2021 where she played Harley Quinn.
Really?
Yeah. And let's see here. I know that she was also in a regular show, yeah. She was also in American Dad, Robot Chicken, and yeah, pretty much like that. And yeah, we also get introduced to her big mutts. Yeah, Volcacron, who is voiced by Fred Tersher, just his sound effects, though. But what was also surprising during this cast was finding out that, Lucas, aka Fred from YouTube, was also in this cast.
Oh, great.
Yeah. And Noah North took over for Paul Rudd for Derek.
Oh, yeah. I forgot he's in that one, too.
And, of course, there was also Josh Gad. There was also Jane Carr, the voice of Mama Cosma. Let's see, Will Friedle, Robbie Atkin Downs, April Winchell, Dee Bradley Baker, Kari Wahlgren, and many more. Yeah. But the show itself, even though, yes, I did say this multiple times, it lasted a little bit, short, but hey, it's what we got, Because around this time, what was it? Rapids Invasion was also at. Remember that show?
Right.
Get me started.
Bye bye. Bye bye bye. Damn, it was just like the theme song. But yeah, for this show, I give it a 7 out of 10. Just have to see it again for my own personal opinion.
Right there.
Yeah. And now to our final thoughts.
Well, I must say, of course, for the movie, it's of course gonna be Infinity. For the show, I sort of watched it, but I mean, I'm no disrespect to those who replaced them. It was not too good for me, so I give it a 7.
Okay, yeah, for the show 7, and then for the movie itself, I give it Infinity. It was perfect.
Even though I haven't really saw much of the show, I just give the movie a bit of a B+.
Okay.